what if we did have the situation where there was some type of apocalyptic thing going on? And my thought is, we're fucking screwed. It was not, my kids are going to survive. She could surprise me too. She could just be like, look, we got to do this. We got to do that. I'm going to start a fire.
But this is the thing, like, that's where I go back to, like, we say these things about our kids, but I think we would be really surprised in put in a situation. I think our kids, they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they have so much information. They probably know so much more information at a young age than we did at that same age, just because they're so privy to it with all the information that they have access to. But the key thing here is, do they have the resilience and the perseverance to do it? And I think that is probably, they haven't been tested. Today's conversation starts with a powerful story. A 13-year-old boy in Australia who swam for nearly 4 hours in the open ocean.
Good morning, Debbie. How are you?
Good.
Oh, I have an update for you.
Go ahead.
I'm happy to report that I passed my astronomy class, which I thought was astrology with a C. Like, I barely passed.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. A win is a win.
A win is a win, girl.
Because I was going to give up on that class because it was so hard. And
Did you learn anything?
I did. You know what? I look at the sky and I appreciate it much more now.
Yeah.
Like, because I actually know how it works. And I actually did enjoy it. I wish that I didn't take it as an intersession class and as a regular semester, so it gave me more time to take in the information and actually learn from it, as opposed to cramming it in 3 weeks, right? So I'm actually taking the lab for that class now, which is once a week in person for it's like 3 hours. But I actually really, really like that class because I get to engage with my classmates, and my lab partner, she reminds me so much of Haley. Like, I just want to mother for her so much. She's like 20. She's really, really cute, but I do enjoy the lab for that. So yes, to those who listened to the episode where I talked about how I took an astronomy class because I thought I was going to be telling people's horoscopes, which was completely wrong. I barely passed the class. So that was my update for you. How are you?
Hey, I love that.
How are you, Debbie?
I'm doing good. I'm just catching up. I mean, can you guys believe we're already full into 2026?
February.
I know.
That's crazy. Yeah. How's work for you?
Work is good. I'll be traveling in a little bit. Work is super busy just because of where I am. This is kind of like the busiest time of year for us. And so, but things are going good.
How is Vanessa doing with school?
This is her second semester, so she's doing well. I mean, she's getting used to, she knows her commute. She goes in, and it's kind of like she knows what she needs to do. So just do it, girl.
Right. Just you do you.
Yes, I've been telling her ever since she was little, like, one of the biggest things is half the battle is showing up. So no matter how you feel, you got to show up. I know for her, the commute's probably very challenging some days. And so she's not going to feel like it. And nobody's going to really police her. So she has to police herself. But I see that there's days where she probably struggles, but she shows up.
Good
so
for her.
I like that.
Her.
Yeah.
Speaking of our kids, so we went to a dinner. What was it, last week? It was the We Time gals.
Yes.
Me, you, Debbie, Lana, which is our, what do we call Lana? She's part of the team. She's our COO.
Yes.
She handles all this schedule, all the background stuff for us that we don't want to do, that we don't have time for.
Yes.
But she miraculously has time for. I don't know how.
I don't know how.
We don't pay her. So thanks, Lana. And Irene, we went to this lovely dinner in it's called a Dega. What is this? San Jose's first Michelin star restaurant? No, or a Michelin star restaurant, Portuguese restaurant. It was great.
Oh, it was fabulous.
I don't eat like that. I've never eaten at fancy establishments like that, so I don't know how to act. And when people come and clean your table, right when you drop something, it's like, whoa, what are you doing?
Oh, it was a great experience.
It was perfect. Thank you. But we had this conversation where we talked about, I think you brought this up.
I did.
Okay, I'll let you lead this.
I did. So I was talking to my niece, and I don't know how we got into it, but we were talking about just natural disaster, zombie
Apocalyptic.
yeah, exactly. And she was telling me about this show. It's called The Last of Us. And so
Great show.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh my
God, yes. So anyways,
I love him. I love him.
yes, so she got me hooked on it. And so we just started talking about it and just trying to apply, like, what if that happened to us and where we would be from, like, my kid, her sister, our family, like, and it was hilarious of how, like, we thought it would play out. So obviously it was top of mind for me when we went to dinner. We were chatting and I had brought that up. And I thought that it was hilarious in regards to your guys' perspective. Because one of the questions I asked was, if it's day 0 and you had only 10 minutes to get whatever you need, what are you grabbing? Right. And the answer from various people and you guys is just, it's like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, like I think I said medication. I was like, medication.
Yes. And I know
Like that. And I'm like, how does he not think of a weapon? Like,
yeah, so it was just a very interesting conversation. And then the next question was, okay, you're all in the car. It's your family. You have 2 seats available and you're passing by and you see a family with, let's say, small kids. Would you stop?
Lana straight up like, absolutely not. Yeah, every man for himself.
Yeah, and most people said no, we're not stopping. And then so my niece asked her boyfriend, would you stop? And he said yes. And she's like, I swear to God, you will be the death of me. Because the answer should be no, right, in that situation. And I was just like, I don't know. I thought it was just hilarious, just kind of thinking about all of this. And then my daughter, Vanessa, I said, Vanessa, like, what if it's like this crazy thing? She's like, kill me now. Like, she's like, Mom, I don't want to live that life. Like, I don't want to survive like that. That is just too much.
Yeah.
We talked about our pets. What would we do? And as you know, my poor baby, handsome boy, I'm like, I don't know about you. We might have to
carry him around. Like, he's not walking.
Yes.
He's not walking.
Well, that's my point, right? So, like, now you're starting to be like, oh my God. So, super crazy. But, like, we even talked about your girls. And you're like,
I can tell you now.
Yeah, you're like, Ava would be like, I'm good.
No, we're not equipped to live that life. We can't even, first of all, when the internet goes out, we can't even survive that.
Yeah.
Let alone people wanting to come and eat, dead people wanting to come and eat our brains. There's just no way. No way. I just thought, Ava, there's no way.
I thought it was just funny that mine and your daughter would just be like, I'm good.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Call it.
Like what?
Because, I mean, what survival skills? Well, I don't know for you, but I have not taught my kids any survival skills outside of the house other than calling an Uber. Like, I don't even think they would know how to get home if there wasn't Uber, honestly. Like, and it just makes you think, like, should we start teaching our kids, like, what to do if, like, they know how to call 911. They know how to call 911. That's it. But I don't even think they would know how to do CPR. Like, if I were to pass out or choke on something, they wouldn't know how to start a fire, which is a basic thing that you're supposed to learn how to do when you're out.
There's no, like, Girl Scout, Boy Scout. I mean, it's too late. I'm skilled.
I mean, maybe for Violet, but it's too late for Ava. Like, these are things that they should probably, like, even self-defense. Like, I should show them how to, well, I don't even know for myself, but self-defense is probably one thing that they should learn.
Yeah.
And the other thing is not to fucking trust people.
Yeah.
Because they will open the door for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stranger danger is probably, like, my kids are just very gullible,
Well, we do shelter them and obviously the life they live probably has not really called for us to teach them those things.
Oh.
Right. But I would just have to say, Vanessa, she's pretty good. I mean, she knows the basics. I think for me, one of the big ones was, growing up, I don't really swim very well. And so I really wanted to make sure that she knew how to swim and that she wasn't scared of water. So that was a big thing for me from like a survival perspective. And I recall her dad was like, oh, I don't know, like when is she ever going to be like out in the ocean, which is true. But that wasn't the point. The point was I wanted to make sure that she wasn't scared of water and that she could swim.
Yes.
And so that was a skill that I really wanted to make sure that she had. But I think the basics, our kids will figure it out. Believe it or not, even though we didn't tell them, I think they have gained a lot of information as they grow up that they can figure it out when they really need to.
Yeah.
The problem is that they don't really need to.
Well, it's your will to live.
Yes.
Like if you want to live, you'll figure out a way. Yeah. So I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to wait until we're in that situation, right?
Yes.
Like it's like, who would you save? Like, would you? I mean, save yourself? Like if we were behind and we were keeping you behind, we were slowing you down, right?
Yes.
Would you leave me?
Well, I would want you to leave me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because one of us is gonna live.
Yes. Yes.
Well, speaking of water, this takes us to this article that Irene found on The Guardian about a family went out to sea on their paddleboard. It was a mom. Her name was Joanne, the Appleby family. Her son, who I believe was 13, Austin, and two siblings, 12 and 8. So they were kayaking and paddleboarding. They're from Western Australia, and somehow the tide was really bad and it brought them far away from shore and they couldn't get back.
Yes.
So mom is like telling Austin, her 13-year-old son, hey, you're the strongest. I can't go out there. I need to stay out with these kids. You need to swim to shore and call for help.
Yeah, it was like 4 miles or something like that.
2.5 miles, which is 4 kilometers.
Oh my God.
So Austin, with the conditions worsening, swam 2.5 miles through water. And not only that, had to sprint another 1.5 miles to her phone.
Yes.
Yes. After he called the authorities, he passed out because he was just so fucking
Exhausted.
tired. Yeah. Emergency crews came and rescued the family, but it was already dark. And by the time they found the family, they had drifted 9 miles out.
Oh my God, that is so crazy. But you know what? That is insane to me because as a mom, I mean, I only have one child, right? And I have, Peter's kids, who is relatively around that same age. And then if it was 4 of us with Vanessa, she would be the strongest person.
Do you think she would make it? First of all, my kids don't swim well like that. So
Vanessa, she would make it. Well, here's the thing. If the reality is that if somebody had to go, it would have to be her.
Okay.
Right?
Peter's a good swimmer? What if
obvious, don't get me wrong. If Peter was there, he'd go.
Girl, you're the you go.
Yes, you go. But if it's the 4 of us where it's Vanessa, Aiden, and Mia, I would say Vanessa. And I would, but she's older, right? She's an adult. So like, that's different. But this 13-year-old, this is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's
and
wild.
And as a mom, I would just be like, I don't know if I could do it, right? To tell her and to take the chance that she may not make it. Right. But that is our best chance for survival. Then that is just, from a mom's perspective, it's just heartbreaking.
Right. Like you're putting your kid out there and she might not come back.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And then you're screwed.
Well, and in the article, it said that she didn't even know if he made it.
Yeah.
Like
it was getting dark.
Yeah. And it was like, because to your point, 2 miles, right? Like, yeah, 2 miles is long, but
swimming is hard. I'll tell you that. I'm a runner,
right?
Yes.
The current.
With the current, I'm a runner. Running 2.5 miles is fine. I learned how to swim, and I can't imagine like how strong swimmers are.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Well, and
I can't even do a lap. Like, it's a lot.
Well, that's my point, right? It's like, it's just the idea. And she was just like, at one point, she came to the conclusion he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Right. And can you imagine being out in the ocean, coming to that conclusion that your son didn't make it?
Right.
Like, devastating.
Right.
But I just commend this 13-year-old because I don't know, like, you don't expect, like, because at the end of the day, right, you can have the skill, but you have to have the resilience and the perseverance to just keep going.
And the will to survive.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And it's like, what if we did have the situation where, I don't know, there was some type of apocalyptic thing going on And my thought is, we're fucking screwed. It was not, my kids are going to survive. She could surprise me too. She could be like, look, we got to do this. We got to do that. I'm going to start a fire.
But this is the thing, like, that's where I go back to, like, we say these things about our kids, but I think we would be really surprised and put in a situation. I think our kids, they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they have so much information. They probably know so much more information at a young age than we did at that same age, just because they're so privy to it with all the information that they have access to. But the key thing here is, do they have the resilience and the perseverance to do it? And I think that is probably, they haven't been tested.
Yeah. Well, also another big thing to your point is, if you were to see a family with a baby, would you stop? I think that's also a thing, is like morality, right? Like, just
Yes.
What's right and what's wrong. Like, I think naturally, Ava, just knowing the type of person she is, she would stop. She would stop. No question, right? But you also they gotta learn, like, girl, you gotta think for yourself. Like, save yourself, right? Because it's another mouth to feed. It's another family that, so that's also, I think, one big thing to teach your kids too. If something like this were to happen, right, is choosing what's right from what's wrong, or yeah. I think that would be one of the hardest decisions for our kids to deal with if
Yes.
something like that were to happen, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
Not being over trusting of people, right?
Yes. But I think also one of the things is for us to put more trust and responsibility on our kids.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know about you, Liza, but trust. I mean, I trust Vanessa in certain things, and then certain things I don't trust because, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen her do this and that. But the other thing too is responsibility. Like, I give her very specific responsibilities that she doesn't get overwhelmed, right?
Mhm.
But I can tell you, growing up, my parents didn't give a fuck that I was overwhelmed. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
You just sort it out yourself.
like, they give you stuff and you're like, I don't think they go, oh, is this overwhelming for her?
Oh no,
Like,
just
no,
get it done.
Yeah.
Just get it done. We don't care.
I don't know about you, but like, for me, I know it can be overwhelming. I've lived it. So in order for me to help her, I try not to overwhelm her too much. And in some ways that could negatively affect, because she may be able to take on more.
Yeah,
Just
you
like
never know.
this 13-year-old
Yeah.
was able to take on more.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
He saved this fucking family. So, I mean, you go Austin, like, damn.
Yeah. Are you the kind of person that can, like, so for example, in this whole apocalyptic situation, Peter, I know, can make the tough choices. He can do it, depending on what it is. But for the most part, he can do it. Now, if it comes to the dogs, he can't do it. So I have to do it. But when it comes to his family, like, it just, he'll be.
No question.
Yeah.
No question. Yeah.
Like, no. Because in his mind, his first priority is safety for the family, right? So he can do that. Me, on the other hand, I'd be like, oh my God. It's like, but we can. Like, I'm very, like, optimistic. Like, this is what we should do. I think we can do it, and blah, 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 blah. So I will inadvertently take on additional risk. If it's up to my husband, he's like, no, we're not doing that. So in cases of emergency, do you think that you're in the bucket of where Peter is, or in the bucket of where I'm at?
I think I'm like 100% on your side. I would be the same way.
Because it's hard, right?
It's because I think somebody needs to be like, have logic,
Mhm.
right? And it requires planning, and you really have to think about what you need to do, because I think Peter's the one that's like, let's fucking get out of town. Let's pack our shit. Let's go. And I'm thinking, like, everyone's going to leave. We're going to be stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Do we stay and wait?
Yeah.
Like, I have that kind of mindset, right? And it's like, we got to take all this food. We got to do, like,
Yes.
how are we going to handle this? What if somebody robs us? We need to have weapons. How about our gas? What are we going to do with gas?
So he'll like, his is always going to be like that safety, and he can make the hard decisions.
Mhm.
I will defer to him to make the hard decisions.
Right.
And that's the way I want it, because I don't want to make the hard decisions, because the hard decisions are really hard.
Yeah.
And it's going to mess up with my mind, with my emotions, with my, like, just, yeah. Emergencies to me is going to be a tough.
But I think that would be a good balance if it were to go down and you guys were together at that time, like
Yes.
physically together, because you need that, right?
Yeah.
You need somebody that's like driven to his family to safety. That's
Yes.
the one thing. And then someone that's more logical about it and like more like, just kind of being optimistic, like, we'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Because if it's all just one way, it could easily just go south.
Yeah.
Or you can get your family killed.
So here's a question for you. In that situation of just like the whole world is ending, what do you think is much on the survival? Are we looking at strength or mindset?
If we had to pick one, I think mindset.
I agree.
Because stupid people play stupid games. And it really is. Like, you have to be really smart about things.
Yes. Well, I'm just, like very focused.
Yeah.
Very like, you have to be mentally strong.
Right.
Because there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to just come your way. And
you have to have a good intuition about people.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, like people out there, you just never know.
Well, that goes to like what skills actually matter,
Yeah.
right? Because, I mean, you have to be able to read people really well because it's all for yourself, right? And so, yeah, you have to kind of be able to read the room, read the people. Like, for example, if it was just me and Vanessa and I had room in the car, I would probably think about like, yeah, we should stop for this family. But then I have to remind myself like, but
You don't
what
know
if
this family.
Yeah, I don't know this family. What if they take over the car
Mhm.
and they leave us stranded because they're trying to survive too,
Right.
right? So, like, do I take that chance?
Yeah, I definitely would pick the stronger mindset over physical strength for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you just have to be smart
Well,
in an apocalyptic world.
yes. So, I mean, would our kids survive? Would they rise to the occasion?
Right now, at this moment, I would say no. I'm sorry, Ava. I'm sorry, Violet. Just because I know my kids.
How about Haley?
Haley, I don't know. Haley is my sweet girl. She trusts everybody. She's over trusting. So I think in that situation, she would be gone.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Vanessa has a chance.
Okay.
I think Vanessa has a chance. It will come down to her mindset.
And
Is she capable? Yes, I absolutely feel that she is capable as long as her mindset is right. And if she tells herself, I'm going to survive, my daughter will survive. But if she doesn't do that first, she's like, take me now.
Yeah.
Take me out.
Let's just hope, I don't know, maybe for some reason that happens, and my kids are in the vicinity of Vanessa, so she can show them a thing or two. But yeah, this was fun. Let's just hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. But
Yes.
also something to think about. Like, are we really prepared for disaster? Even like an earthquake? Is my house equipped with things that I need if an earthquake were to happen because we live in the Bay Area? Absolutely not.
Yes. So, I mean, I think it's a good practice for you to have that discussion with your kids because if an emergency does happen, at least foundationally, do they know what to do?
Maybe we should show them how to read Morse code.
Or do they know, like, you got 10 minutes, what are you grabbing?
Right.
And what are we doing?
We were talking about like a get out, bug out bag or whatever they call it, where it has all the necessities by the door for each person, right?
Yes. And then boom, just good to go.
Yeah. We even started because my sister and my brother-in-law were really good into like disaster prep. And there were times where they would give us like those, like the food that the military eats. I mean, I think we might still have some in our garage. Like it doesn't hurt to have that.
Well, do you know, like, let's say, for because everybody has their own, during day to day, you're not usually around your kids. So do you know, like, do you guys have a place to
meet up?
Yes.
We do not. But that is a good thing to talk about with my kids because
like, do you have a place? And the other thing too is what if you don't have your phones? Do you know how to get around? Right? Because I'll tell you,
this all ties back into that episode about they need to learn how to read a physical map.
Well, my thing is, okay, let's say, and like you guys aren't together, their phones, like the first thing to go is like phones, right? And the internet. Do they know what to do?
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that is going to be a because if you have your phone, then obviously you have a good chance. Yeah. But what if that phone is not there?
I think the first thing, like you mentioned, is a meetup place. Yeah. Because if nobody has their phone, you're not going to reach anybody.
Yes.
Your best bet is to go where your designated area is to meet,
Yes.
which is a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or do you go to a place where the people say that this is where you're going to go because it's safe?
No, I would not.
See?
I would not because everybody knows. Everybody,
But would Ava know that?
no.
See? You have to tell her that.
Yeah.
Because, like, our kids follow directions.
It's like you're steering the enemy towards where there's going to be a bunch of people depending on what the situation is.
You know what's going to be killer? She goes, Mom, I don't know. I'm going to go where they tell me to go.
I don't know. We watch The Walking Dead. Those places are not good news ever.
Well, I think you have this discussion.
Okay, I need to go home and I need to have this discussion ever.
because she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I actually don't know if Vanessa knows either. So I probably should tell her.
Yeah.
Because we do have a place that we know.
Okay.
But the question is, what if she's in San Francisco and they say, hey, the safest place is here, right? And that's
where we live.
That's only like, let's say a mile away from her. Or does she come all the way back to San Jose?
I think
What is she going to do?
There should be different points. Say, hey, if you're at school, this is where we're going to meet. If you're around where we live, this is where we're going to meet.
Well, see, look, you're putting your plan together.
Yes. And what if she's out of town, though?
Well, yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, regardless of the place, you have to have a game plan, right? Do you go to the place where they tell you to go, or do you go to another place?
So what would you do if Vanessa was out of town and you guys met at your place? Would you just wait there for days until she got there?
I think it would depend.
Okay.
I think it would depend. I mean, the reality is that if we committed to staying there, and if it's safe there, of course you stay.
Yeah.
And then, girl, you need to find your way back home.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's not safe, I'm not hanging out.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So we have to kind of somewhat think alike. Like, okay, it's not safe. We're supposed to meet here. We said we're going to meet here, but it's not safe.
Yeah.
So where would my mom go?
Right.
Like, think like her.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So you definitely have to be smart in this situation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So again, we have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
At least conversation. It doesn't hurt.
Yes. Well, people out there, if you're like me, you need to have this conversation with your family or your kids.
Yes. Well, I would say this 13-year-old boy, I commend you.
Yes.
That is
Austin.
amazing.
Yes. Austin, you are a real one for saving your family.
Yes. But you know what? He didn't think about him being a hero. He just thought like he just needed his family.
Yep.
That's it.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.